Hey, Chris Lipe here. Welcome all new subscribers. It's been a tremendous season of growth here on this channel. And this video is a continuation of a video I released a while ago on how to scream, how to add grit to your voice, how to sing aggressively without hurting your voice. And in this video, we're going to work on vocal compression, sometimes called glottal compression, feeds into belting. Really, what we're talking about is how to manage airflow. And this is something that a lot of you asked questions about after that last video. I can only do it really loud, or I can get some of these things when I'm doing it quiet, but I can't do it when I'm loud, or one or the other people had problems with. So, in this video, we're going to experiment with more weird sounds, more strange ways to position certain things within our body so that we can learn a bit more about how to moderate airflow and get the sounds that we want to get those aggressive sounds that we want to get. And even though it may look like when you see certain singers doing these things or when you listen to them on their albums, it's not as much airflow, it's not as intense as you might think. So if you've checked out any of my other videos, you know that I like to experiment and make weird noises and have you guys experiment and make weird noises because that's how we learn how things are supposed to feel without the pressure of singing something the way we're supposed to be singing it or the way we think other people should hear it when we're singing it. We want to get rid of that stuff and experiment with our voices so that we can discover new things about our voices. And I have to say this up front. If you're experimenting with aggressive singing, vocal compression, screaming, stuff like that, but you haven't dialed in some basic singing techniques, I encourage you to join my free vocal course linked below. You really have to have things like breath support and understanding where you get your energy from before you tackle stuff like this. These are great aspirations. These are great things to want to be able to do, and you will get there. But if you try to do it without having basic singing fundamentals, basic breath support fundamentals especially, you're going to screw up your voice. And I don't want that for you. So make sure you do that first. Okay, so follow me here. This is probably going to be weird, and your neighbors or people living in your house are probably going to wonder what you're doing in that room you're watching this video in, but that's okay. Stay with me, we'll learn some cool things. We're going to take a 3-step approach to discovering how to sing with compression, how to moderate our airflow better, and then ultimately sound more aggressive, sound cooler without trashing our voice. So step 1, we're going to close off all air. We're going to hold back all air. Step 2, we're going to let some air through while making various noises, and we're going to experiment with vocal fry, adding vocal fry in this stage. Then step 3, we're going to take those things to various pitches in various parts of our range. So that's what's on deck. So the first thing that we want to do is close off all air, like you're picking up something really heavy, or yes, like you're pushing something out your other end. And it's okay to have a little bit of that grunt up at the top. This ensures that we are placing things correctly as we're holding back the air. That's what we want to do. Hold back the air, all of it. And when you do that, you want to feel this sensation not here, but like you're literally going to poop if you don't stop doing it. I've talked about this in other videos. This is really important, getting this sensation of bearing down not the energy, not energy up. Okay, got that? Now, we want to let a little bit of sound through. Make it a clean sound. Try to make it as clean as possible. So we're bearing down. Don't go for any particular pitch, but try to make it as clean as possible. Is this very flexed? Good. Is your neck not tense? Good. If not, recenter. Okay, now let's talk like this. Right now, this is extreme vocal compression. We're holding back lots of air, and it doesn't sound good. It doesn't feel very good. My stomach muscles are getting really tired. But this is the beginning stages of understanding how it's supposed to feel. It's not going to be this extreme. Let's go back and forth between normal speaking, where you're letting most of your air through. Now, whenever you're speaking or doing anything with your vocal cords, you are moderating airflow, right? Your vocal cords are acting as that wind instrument that they are, that reed instrument that they are, and they're, that's holding back no air, right? That's all the air. Now, I'll say this. When I did that, the very first thing I noticed is that I'm drying out my vocal cords. I'm pushing so much air past my vocal cords that they're drying out. This is what happens when we sing and we push too much air through. We dry out our vocal cords, and then they get all gunky and swollen, and then we push more air through, and then there's this terrible cycle of swelling and air and pushing, and it's bad. So by practicing this concept of doing this and holding back our air like this and still speaking clearly, we don't want any of that stuff going on, but we are moderating our airflow even more. But you notice we're not moderating it with our vocal cords. We're moderating it by imitating a clenched position down here, and we're almost protecting our vocal cords from getting too much air. That's the feel we want to adopt. Okay, next, we're going to make some noise, and we're going to insert vocal fry. And we're going to pay careful attention to where this grit that we're adding to our voice is being placed. You're going to feel it in one of two places. You're going to feel it down here below your larynx, or you're going to feel it above. It's these two sensations. You can place your grit real easily by doing this exercise. Up, down. We don't want that one. It's good for some things, but not good for this. Down. You can hear and see even what's going on when I am placing that grit higher versus lower. Very important as we move forward. So, smooth, and I have a little bit of grit there. I'm going to go in and out so you can hear the difference. Clean. Grit. Grit. Okay, now that grit that you just heard. Grit. That's happening down here. And then this grit is happening up. One of those takes a much greater toll on your voice than the other. Have you felt which one it is? Adding that grit in a position where it feels like it's below your voice box is going to trash your voice pretty quick. Sometimes people use that not for compression singing particularly effectively. We want to make sure that the grit that we're adding the sensation feels like it's coming higher in the neck and not lower in the neck. This is very important. Let's make some more noise. Lower. Ugh. Okay. I need to start over because I got the grit in the lower, which sometimes is easier to get, but and harder to get rid of if you go down that path. And that's why so many people end up screwing up their voice. I got the sound, but I can only do it for a few minutes and then I'm screwed. But don't want that. There it is. It's up top. It's above my voice box. I find when I'm dialing it in, it's helpful to bare my teeth and do an E vowel. Then you can go to other vowels, but for whatever reason, it gets things out of the way. And by E, it helps me think lift, and then I'm able to place that grit in the right place. E, I'm holding back air. I'm holding back air. Now that doesn't hurt my voice at all. So pause this video if you haven't already and experiment with those different things. Ask yourself, where does it feel like I'm introducing the grit? It should be above if we want to have any length of time available with our voice while we're doing it. Now let's add a pitch. I'm going to do it here, maybe here. Let's make some observations about this pitch. Now, I am letting a lot of air through there. If I close it off, I'm not doing that yet. Yeah, I'm letting it be clean. Notice the sound got brighter. There's a bit of the dying cat phenomenon if you have watched any of my other videos that you're going to join some of these other things with. It all works together. Yeah. You shouldn't feel this sense that you're closing it off with your voice. You're closing it off by moderating your airflow using this area of your body. That's the sensation you ought to feel. Yeah. Now we're adding fry over it. Should feel like it comes above, not below. Not. Oh, that hurts. It's good to have the sensation of both. You want to be able to feel both so that you know where to land. And the below is not completely unusable. It's just not for what we're doing here. Let's take a different pitch. Let's go there. Let your voice crack. Let your voice do stupid things. We're getting the feel. Now let's go to a note that's higher. Let's get into our head resonance. Can we moderate air there? When we start to do this, we start to push more from here, and we start to get that clenched feeling like we were doing earlier. We automatically create this mix, this mixed feel. It's no longer like this, it's like this. We're moderating airflow. We're actually pushing a little bit more air through, and by thinking in this way, we are allowing our voice to sort of drop into mix almost by accident. It's really cool when you start to experiment like this. Now let's add a little bit of fry. So if I say the word free, 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 I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. Now, what just happened there with my voice was this. At the end of free, as I was supporting, as I was adding fry, as I was maintaining that pitch, keenly aware of what was happening with my voice, I started to feel like my voice might crack. And you heard my voice crack a little bit earlier when we were doing this. Cracking is good because it helps you understand where certain things are going to happen. But I started to feel it crack, and then I added more air. I'm moderating my airflow. I added more push, and it created this really extra gritty sound. It didn't hurt because I had my grit placed in the right place, above, not below. This is key. I was using the space, that transition between in my break to make that extra grit happen. As soon as my voice started teetering, I added more air, and I harnessed that sound. More on that in my aggressive vocals, which many of you have seen already, but be sure to check it out if you haven't. So I'm going to go to the track now, and I'm going to demonstrate the full breadth of what we've been doing. I'm just going to let the track roll. I want you to listen to me. I want you to watch me go through these transitions. Cutting off the air completely and being clean like this. Adding the grit, adding the fry above our voice box, and then taking it to various pitches and being keenly aware of what happens in different parts of our range as we introduce these ideas. If you are feeling pain, if you are feeling discomfort for any more than a few seconds, you're doing it wrong. And don't do that. Take a break. When I was first learning this stuff, I had to take long breaks, days sometimes. Take a break, come back and try it again. If you're doing it right, if you're placing the grit correctly, and you're moderating your airflow correctly, you won't feel any pain. Hey! Wide open. Wide. There's a lot of air passing through. Now there's less air passing through, and I'm using fry to create that sound. Again, remember, listen to your body. Listen to your body as you're going through these exercises, as you're experimenting. And experiment just like I did. Put on a track, put on a song, go and sing in your car, make noises. Grit, higher, not lower, and practice holding back air in different parts of your range and see what happens. This is the essence of singing with compression. This is the essence of, it's sort of a gateway into a lot of this aggressive singing that so many of us like to listen to. It's not just pushing more and more air. In fact, it's actually creating less airflow strategically. Hope you enjoyed this. Leave questions and comments below if there's anything else you'd like me to cover. And also, if you'd like more help developing your unique voice, again, be sure to click my free vocal course link below. We'll see you for more.